Hey guys, what's up? Peace. Hey, I just felt the need to drop this video real quick. Again, I did a second take on this because I was interrupted, and I already started on the video too. And so, for some reason with this video, I just want to kind of make this a quick video, just a quick drop about being awkward, right? And the state of being awkward and feeling awkward. And I don't know, I just felt a sudden urge to do this video because, you know, and excuse the lighting, it'll get really dark, and I might walk around as I'm talking. So the thing with you know, people these days in our society is like, you know, we tend to be very distracted or really occupied with technology on our phone, social media, you know, and gaming. And this video can be addressed to anybody, but maybe introverts in particular. So, you know, the thing with being awkward is just, it's a matter of loosening up, just to keep it simple, you know. If you ever feel like you're like someone who might be awkward, the best thing I can tell you is just to loosen up and be comfortable with your own self. Because the reason that people even feel like I've said this before, maybe not in not in any of my videos perhaps, but just in general, I've told people this before in conversations that, you know, the only reason that you may feel awkward about having conversations with people or socializing is it's really you. It's what you're feeling inside. And people just pick up on your vibe, and whatever vibe they pick up on you is what they're gonna reflect to you. And so, with that being said, if you're not comfortable with your own self, then people won't be comfortable around you either. And so the thing with being awkward is sometimes, like, when you come around people that you don't know, new people that you meet, or even somebody that you know, right? Someone that you're having an argument with, you're having beef with somebody, like, the thing is, like, awkward is, being awkward can come in many forms. It can come in forms of, like, socializing with other people, or situations in general, and things that happen that you don't know how to deal with. Because the definition of awkward is just inconvenience and difficulty and the lack of skill to deal with something which causes difficulty and inconvenience. And so I feel like when you look up the word awkward, there's no human and social definition and emotional definition of awkward. It's just described on, it's just defined as, like, having difficulty with figuring something out, which causes inconvenience and stuff like that. Like, there's many definitions of awkward, but I'm just talking in the social form of it. And so, with that being said, you know, with being awkward, it's just a matter of socializing. Or, that didn't sound right. Let me take that back. With being awkward, it's just a matter of loosening up. And yes, socializing, because as you come around people more often, it becomes easier to talk to people, you know. And I did actually talk about this in one of my other videos. So, the thing with it is that the reason people might feel awkward, or the reason that the whole thing with awkward even exists among people, is because they think too much of what the other person thinks. And so whenever you feel like you're being judged, or you feel like you're supposed to be a certain way based on your own ideology of what you should be or what you think you should be, then you're putting that pressure on your own self, and that pressure you're putting on your own self becomes uncomfortable, and that discomfort becomes your own vibe of being awkward. When you can learn to loosen up and just be comfortable with yourself, you'll realize that awkward bullshit doesn't even exist. Because have you ever just been minding your own business, taking a walk somewhere, or you're at the store minding your own business, and someone just, you know, kind of approaches you or talks to you or interacts with you, and right away you're not uptight and awkward and uncomfortable. You adapt right away to that person, and you can talk to that person and communicate with that person right away, and have a conversation, or have a quick human interaction with them with no problem and no discomfort. Have you noticed how smooth that felt? How smooth that goes? Like, yeah, there's no awkward if you're not awkward with your own self. Like, I'm not telling you to be like some socialite, extroverted, like person who talks to everybody, but I'm saying like being awkward or feeling awkward is just a reflection of what people will. Well, it's what people will. It's what people will reflect. Excuse me. It's what people will reflect based on what you're already feeling within your own self. That's what awkward is, essentially. So, yeah. With that being said, you know, if you're awkward, just loosen up. Just be comfortable with yourself and loosen up. Stop being so uptight. Just because that's why this video in particular is like can go hand in hand with, or might be useful with introverts, because like with introverts you're like constantly in your own world. You're not someone who likes to really go out and talk to people and communicate with other people around you that often. So whenever you do come around or come across other people, other humans, it feels uncomfortable to you because you feel like you have to say something or have to be a certain way, and that's really that's just you judging your own self. That's just you putting up a certain standard, a certain social standard for yourself that you're not able to meet, or you think you're not able to meet those standards. So it's you putting that pressure on your own self that makes you uncomfortable, and that discomfort is your own way of being awkward already. Like, you're creating the awkward. It's not the other person, it's you. Because like I said, when you're comfortable with your own self, you could be shirtless, or you could be butt naked. I don't think that's really appropriate though, but you could be, let's just say you could be totally like almost butt naked, just in your underwear or in your underwear and your bra, walking around town, talking on the phone with your friend. And if that's something that you're comfortable with doing, it's not awkward. People will still look at you and judge you and form their own opinions and laugh and maybe even take pictures and just point fingers and stuff. But as long as you don't give a shit and you're walking around in your bra and in your bikini, or you're walking around in your underwear and you're just minding your own business and you're just showing it all off and you don't care what people think, then it's not really awkward, because there is no awkward in that situation, because you don't feel awkward, and the reason you don't feel awkward is because you're comfortable with your own self. That's why that whole saying, and it's very cliche at this point, right? Like what was the saying? It was like be yourself, or yeah, be yourself. Like when you're just being yourself, you don't care what. Oh, there you go. Now I thought about it just now. Like, you don't care what other people think, or stop caring what other people think. That's powerful, because when you actually do stop caring what other people think, you'll realize that you run this shit. Like, the vibes around you from other people that's in your outside world, those things don't matter, because if it's not bothering anything within you, then there's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on bad. There's nothing wrong. Everything's smooth. If you're okay with it, then why should you care what anyone else thinks? If you're comfortable with yourself and you can just learn to loosen up, there is no awkward. Like, awkward is a made-up thing. It's bullshit. You're only awkward because you're not comfortable with your own self in the beginning. Therefore, people around you aren't going to be awkward because they're just picking up on your vibe. It's nothing. I mean, have you ever noticed that the highlight of two people who are like awkward at first when they're conversating, have you noticed that the biggest highlight between those two people is the conversation and how well and smooth it went? That's the highlight. And even becoming friends later on, that's the highlight of their whole interaction. Oh, okay, so that's okay, what's your name? What are you into? What hobbies do you like? Where do you work? Oh, okay, cool. My name is so and such, and oh, I work here, and yeah, this is what I like to do on the weekends, and blah 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 blah. Like, the whole highlight of the whole awkward at first interaction is the closure of it being a good conversation. That's it. So, with that being said, there's no such thing as awkward. Awkward is made up. Awkward is nothing but some made up crap It's just a matter of your own vibe and what you bring out into the world, as within, so without, as above, so below. So, you know, if you're comfortable with yourself and you're able to loosen up, you'll be okay. Like, there is no awkward. If you're comfortable with yourself, then other people will be comfortable around you. You know, quick video, you know, there is no awkward. People only reflect what you're feeling internally anyway. So, with that being said, peace. And learn to loosen up. Peace.